Not any problems with the phone lines or anything like that. But yo. Yeah. Let's get into it. Mo 3 times, talking shit, getting clicks. It's the me episodes. But you should also know that it's also Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. 313-825 is the 5557. Yeah, that's our call-in line. You're going to be able to use that soon. Oh, I'm turning the fan back on. I don't care. Turning it back on. It's hot in here. Yay. What are we cheering for?
Ever since I was a lowercase G, but now I'm the big G.
Yeah. What's up, Mo 3 times? And guys, you should already know.
Bitch, I'm from Cumberland.
What's going on? Jump out, guys. Y'all already in here. I just threw up the chat just real now, and y'all are here. And I love it. I love it because... I gotta get these buttons out right now. How's everybody's week going as I crunch this ice? Excuse me. I had to. I'm missing something. I'm missing like a dock in here or something like that. Craziness. Don't want to lock them. But yeah, I usually have this like thing that pops up where I can control the chat. But it's whatever. All right, so hey, look at the show. We got a whole slew of stuff. Let's get some music pumping in here. I'm all by myself. Little bloom. Righteous. All right, so check it. Here's our show. You've probably already read the readings that I've been putting down for you. But let me just start from the upper left. All right, we have a certified OBGYN that fails to report a horrific, and when I say horrific incident, it was the worst. Then we're gonna talk about the sucker MCs. Let's go there. Old beef, literally, between Eminem and Melle Mel. I know some people have been talking about it online. I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in. And then we're gonna definitely talk about Donald Trump and his amazing feat of the 4 for 4. For 4, because he has been indicted 4 times in the last 4 months in 4 different jurisdictions.
I want more.
You want more? Do you want more? You will get more. Hop in with the Jump Out boys in the chat. Or do what I be telling y'all to do. Hit the number 313-825-5557. That's going to be later on in the show. But let's go to my little chat scene here. Everybody's in here. Mainline's in here. Let the children say. Ev, love, love. Spark it up one time for your mind is in here. Ramid's always in here. Henkato's in here. She has her own.
Bitch, I'm from Cumberland.
That's her. What's good? What's good, everybody? How's everybody's week been going on so far? Pretty good? Yeah. Yes. That is what I like to see. It's definitely what I like to see. Oh, is a flashback in here? Flashback in here? Is flashback in here?
Hey,
Hello, Daddy. Yeah, I don't know where that came out. But yeah, guys. We have been, I got these shows ready for you guys. You know? Just getting you settled in. Oh, do you see these things right here? I got a little cash app here, right? You know what I mean? If you want to send a brother $5. Ev Love has gotten me addicted to Starbucks. She got me strung out on Starbucks. Why am I yelling? Ooh. I still haven't labeled that button, but I'm feeling like
You're a real crumb bum.
I'm feeling like a crumb bum right now. Honestly, she's got me strung out on this Starbucks. I gotta have me a cafe latte, guys. And that shit costs. It costs. It costs to be the boss. It does. Effing costs. I was reading a book, speaking of money, terrible segue, but I was reading a book. I've been reading a book throughout the week. It is called The Creature from Jekyll Island. The Creature from Jekyll Island basically talks about the creation of the Federal Reserve and all of its dealings and mishaps. And if you have 6 hours and 38 minutes total, you can knock it out. There's an audio version on YouTube, and let me tell you what. Let me throw the music down because I'm dead ass right now. All right, so I've been listening to this audio recording of a book called The Creature from Jekyll Island, and it's 6.5 hours of audiobook. I mean, normal book probably goes around about 4 hours to read, but this is edition number 5 I'm reading. I think there's 6 of them, but I'm using edition number 5. And I am right now currently damn near 5 hours in, and let me tell you what. Honestly, 45 minutes. If you're not enraptured in the first 20 minutes, like before he even starts the book, when he's still in the preface, then that's all I'm going to say about that. So definitely check that out. Flashback is having AI difficulties. I like it.
The administrator!
So, yeah, we're going to be talking about the lady. Imagine, you know, I was going to say like first job being pregnant. Imagine being pregnant, you know, you're going through, you know, the entire pregnancy, the ups and downs that comes with that. And then you're delivering the baby, and 10 hours into the delivery, you lost the child. You are, you know, you have to be stricken with grief, right? Pain. Man, it would probably be like one of the most painful things to go through in life is losing a child, especially a child for the ladies out there, especially a child that you carried for a whole 9 months, and then you are excited because you're going to finally get to meet this person that's been growing inside of you, and then your baby dies. The hospital tells you your baby is dead. So what do? You know, you grieve, you mourn with your family, you start making funeral arrangements, right? But the hospital's being kind of crazy with you, but you make your funeral arrangements, and then you get a call from your funeral home saying that you need to look at something because it seems that your baby arrived from the hospital to the funeral home with its head detached. I'm gonna leave that right there. Why do I do this? Why do I do? Let's get into it. All right. Bam. We're going to talk about a certified OB/GYN that failed to report a horrific scene. You already know. I already told you what the horrific scene was. We know this. Ladies and gentlemen, let me present to you the parents of the child that left this world extremely too soon. The mother here, pictured on the right, is Jessica Ross. She's 20 years old. This is her boyfriend, Trevion Taylor. His age wasn't listed, but he looks young. He's probably in his early 20s. And Trevion Taylor is actually Trevion Taylor Sr., and it was his firstborn baby boy that died at the Southern Regional Medical Center in Riverdale, Georgia. That's the place, right? You know what? This story it's terrible. It's a terrible story. This is what I'm going to do for you. Let me throw it up on a big monitor, and we will let Fox 5 Georgia handle this one, because this is crazy.
Children.
A young Clayton County mother and father have sued their OB/GYN and Southern Regional Hospital after they claim the doctor's negligence led to their baby being decapitated during childbirth.
In the wrongful death lawsuit filed in Clayton County this morning, the couple claims the hospital covered up their baby's death. Fox 5's Angelique Proctor joins us from Southern Regional Hospital in Riverdale, where that death happened.
Good evening. What a sad and horrendous story. I have learned today that the Clayton County Police Department is investigating this baby death. And as for the parents, well, they're just too distraught to talk about it.
This is one of the most sad, egregious, and horrific situations that I've ever seen.
20-year-old Jessica Ross and her boyfriend, Trevion Taylor Sr., have an unimaginable story. Their attorney says the young couple was full of joy and anticipation for their first child. They came here to Southern Regional Medical Center for the delivery July 9th. According to the complaint, doctors had diagnosed Ms. Ross with diabetes a year earlier, making her a high-risk pregnancy. But she consistently went to appointments while she was expecting. The couple's attorney says after about 10 hours of labor, Jessica was fully dilated and ready for delivery of Trevion Jr. But according to the complaint, they say his shoulders got stuck in the vaginal canal.
What wound up happening after that is just brutal. Dr. St. Julian came in, and she, in the process of trying to deliver this baby, pulled on the baby's head and neck so hard and manipulated them so hard that the bones in the baby's skull, face, and neck were broken.
According to the complaint, that is when Dr. St. Julian called for an emergency C-section.
When the womb was open, the feet came out, the body came out, and there was no head. The head was stuck in the vagina.
The couple's attorneys allege nurses and medical staff at the hospital lied to the couple about what happened, discouraged them from getting an autopsy, tried to encourage them to cremate the child, and failed to report the death to the medical examiner.
They also did not report the death to the authorities of Clayton County or the Clayton County medical examiner. This report was made by a funeral home, and after their funeral home waved the flag and alerted the authorities regarding this, it wasn't until then when Dr. St. Julian told the family what actually happened.
Crazy, insane. Call the police. Call the police, please. Call the popos on her. Listen, right. So the parents, in their early 20s, baby is pulled out. Just, I don't know how much strength someone would have to use to do this, but let's re-go over this. Summarize: the baby's skull, face, and neck were broken. The feet and baby came out when the cesarean C-section was performed. The head was stuck in the vaginal canal of the mother. I mean, and then they didn't record the death to a medical examiner? Where'd they do that at? And then it was the funeral home that ultimately made the complaint. The funeral home. You know? And this family's worried. They're going to the hospital. They want to know what's happening. And it's finally the doctor, Dr. St. Julian. Let's throw a pickup. Get rid of this. You want to see what she looks like? This is Dr. Tracy St. Julian. And it was the doctor who finally, confessed, told the truth, let the parents know what was happening. But this was 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 for 4. That's coming up soon. Excuse me. 4 days later, while you're mourning and grieving and just trying to put your baby to rest, someone that you never got to meet, you're trying to put them to rest, and then a funeral home calls and says, hell, did you know this? Right? So then Dr. St. Julian finally tells the truth, comes on, says what happens, and then you know how the hospital responds, guys? You heard them. They're denying any responsibility. Please. This is what we got to do. I wasn't going to do this so early in the show, but going over this, it's different when I'm in my head and I'm in here and I'm doing research and stuff up in the Yap House. Sort of play on the 2 Chainz' Trap House, the pink one in Georgia. But I'm in here doing research and I'm talking to myself, and I know I'm talking to myself, but I know you guys are out there right now. I know you're listening to this. How effing crazy is this? How crazy is this? Let's go into the background of Dr. St. Julian. Tracy St. Julian is a board-certified obstetrician. I've been practicing that word all day. And gynecologist. She's been practicing in the Atlanta area since January 2005, right? She's a certified robotic surgeon, and she also specializes in the treatment of uterine fibroids and abnormal uterine bleeding. Her undergraduate training was performed at Prairie View A&M University, for which she received a BS, Bachelor's of Science in Biology, with a minor in chemistry. And after graduation, after she graduated from college, she worked as a laboratory technician at Baylor College of Medicine in Houston, Texas. Dr. St. Julian attended her first year of medical school in 1992. That's 30 years ago. At the University of Texas Medical Branch, and she was also commissioned into the United States Army of that same year. She received her doctorate of medicine in 1996 and began a 4-year residency in obstetrics. Oh my goodness. Why am I here today? Why? I feel like I gotta hold my ear when I say it. Obstetrics and Gynecology at the National Capital Uniform Services at Walter Reed, DC, Maryland. Right? She's married and she has 2 daughters of her own. You want to see her website? Take her license away? That's what I would say. Well, I mean, I'm looking through I know that sometimes the chat goes through a little late, but I'm looking at this. We're going to take her license away, right? Does the hospital bear any type of responsibility to this? Because Dr. St. Julian does have her own, she has her own practice. She has her own practice. I'm going to throw it up there. Let me throw it up there for you. Put it up on a big mon. Or for you, the little mon. Meet the team. Premier Women's OB GYN. Website's still up. Shows you the team. Right? Dr. St. Julian is, first and foremost, appears in the pictures of the staff. She has lots of pictures of her family, her husband, her family. Gives her bio and everything like that. So I was wondering if they were like, if she was, you know, she has an office, but then, you know, they book a room at the hospital. I do not know how that works. If anybody's a nurse or knows how that works, please call in and let me know. The call-in line is 313-825-5557. Yo, do you guys know what song has been on my mind all effing day?
Shit, really all of them. Montgomery Brawl. Shout out Unk with the chair. Montgomery Brawl. Everybody that was there. Montgomery Brawl. Threw the hat off at the start. Montgomery Brawl. Man,
yo, seriously. That Montgomery Brawl song is still going. It's still going. I'm still seeing memes and everything. Somebody took a folding chair and put a laser sight on it and was flinging it around. We're still going.
Shout out to the guard, Montgomery Brawl. Hey.
That just was a moment of levity because we are talking about Dr. St. Julian and basically what happened. So we see what Fox News reported. And while I was watching this little feature here, I started to remember that this isn't the first time something like this has happened. Something like this happened about 10 years ago with a doctor in, I think she was in either Australia or Great Britain. But let me share with you a little story of something like this happening before. Regard me, please. Regard me. We're going to do this. Should we do this to La Musica? La Musica? Did we? Little music. What kind of music do you play when you're just like telling stories about this craziness? Play a little trap Renaissance music. That's what you do. I mean, whenever it feels like working. All right, so let's get into it. Let me share with you. Now you have to imagine in a far, far away land called Nine Wells Hospital. A peculiar incident unfolded back in the days of March 2014. That's Tracy Julian. This is Dr. Vaishnavi Vilvanathan Laxman. She's a caring and clever physician, and she found herself amidst a medical conundrum that incited the imagination. Imagine, if you will, a mother only 30 years old with a baby ready to make its debut. but not without a twist in fate. The little one, known by the moniker Baby B, decided to assume the breech position. There are 3 different types of breech positions that I have found out about in my days and days of research here. This, from the left to the right, is a frank or extended breech where it looks like the baby is sitting in the hucklebuck position. With the legs up here. Then you have the complete or the flex breech where it looks like the baby's sitting crisscross applesauce inside of its mother. And then you have a footing breech where, the baby has a foot up, a foot down, and sometimes the foot comes out first. These are all extremely important emergency situations when bringing a child into this world. But imagine this baby B was in one of these breeches that I am displaying right here. Imagine that he's in the breech position, bringing along with a tangled umbilical cord and a heart that is playing hide and seek. Now, here's a twist. Instead of going for the tried and true cesarean script, Dr. Laxman, she chose to attempt a natural delivery. And it wasn't a happy end. Baby B's journey had reached an unforeseen conclusion. So, entered the Medical Practitioners Tribunal Services. This is like the British version. In America, we have medical health boards. It would be like, what health board would it be? It's called like the NBL, the FSMB. It's like a medical board. The United States of America has like 70 to 90 different medical boards, right? And there's 2 major companies that preside over a main one. It is a whole entirely convoluted situation, but trust me when I say the MPTS is basically like our American medical boards. And the panel of guardians, they speak of medical fairness and, of course, intriguing cases. So they examined the pages of this story and they found out, to their astonishment, they didn't pronounce the words that there was serious misconduct. See, if she got serious misconduct, Vishnavi would be out of the game. Instead, they labeled Dr. Laxman's actions as a tale of misguided decisions and a chapter that fell short of a great medical epic. But, my viewer, my dear viewers, the tale unfolds further. You see, the panel also revealed that Dr. Laxman, in her heart of hearts, believed she was weaving a tapestry of the best intentions. She didn't shirk from her role in the curious tale. There was no pointing fingers or blaming shadows. She took responsibility. She was sorry. She was distraught over the medical mistake that she made. And as a result, the tribunal, in all of its wisdom, whispered that while the doctor's compass was definitely a bit askew, she wasn't out to sink the ship. Do no harm. Do no harm. Now, before we get to the third act of this story, let's pause for a reflection. The verdict in this case declared that this breaching and decapitation of a baby, just like we're seeing here in Georgia, it wasn't malicious. It was a blip on Dr. Laxman's more than pristine record. And it wasn't a dark cloud that ended up being swallowed by the sun. It was a single raindrop in a sea of sunbeams. And I know I'm saying it poetically and I'm making it out like it's not a big deal. But these things do happen. And Vishnavi Laxman, she's not a monster. she made a mistake. But the story wouldn't be complete without the final crescendo. The panel's words echoed in the air. Remember March 16th, 2014. Was the day of gravitas. Dr. Laxman, with all her humanly errors, carried the weight of responsibility for patient A and baby B. It's a reminder that even in the realm of medicine, the path to wisdom is paved with stumbles and leaps, and every character plays a part in this particular and peculiar play that is life.
Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished?
Yo, I had to say it that way because honestly, this lady was attempting to assist in birthing a child, and ultimately the child was breached, and she pulled and she tugged and she pulled and tugged with so much force that a baby's head came off. The reason why I bring up Vaishnavi's story is because I wanted to show you that this has happened before. It has happened particularly really recently. It doesn't happen that often, but ultimately Vaishnavi was found not guilty. She's still practicing medicine today, and that is what's happening. My issue that I have, though, isn't with Dr. Julian. I mean, it's never fair in somebody's life but it doesn't seem to me like she was out trying to kill a baby or something like that. It seems to me, and this is what the report doesn't say, like the position of the baby, but I've looked for more stories where doctors have had to actually yank on babies, and it usually is when they're in that breech position. And I am going to speculate that this was the case with young Jessica Ross and her boyfriend. The baby had to be breached, and this is where it came in. So I'm no medical doctor or anything, but hey, if a baby is breached, I would say just go C-section. Don't even try. Don't even try. What is this? Oh. There we go. So this is a very, very, very extremely sad story. Procedure might have. I'm late on. I need an administrator.
I need an administrator!
Ramin said books make him sleepy. But yes, this is a crazy story. I had to chime in on this because this is something that's taken the internet by storm. Like, honestly, when you hear that a baby is decapitated, the head is found in the birth canal of the mother, I mean, it is a sensational story. And a lot of people had opinions on it. And I do remember the story of Vaishnavi. I didn't remember her name. I had to go look it up. But I do remember the story taking place, not too long ago in the grand scheme of things. And I remember the outcome of it. So this is the exact reason why I had to chime in, because they really don't. They don't talk about the position of the baby. They do try to say a little thing about the mother having diabetes. It looked like the mom was on top of it. She's in Atlanta, Georgia. She's a black lady in Atlanta, Georgia. And she went to a black woman because she felt that the black lady was going to take special care of her. That's another angle to this, and now we can say otherwise. The only issue I have with this that differentiates this story from Vaishnavi's, Vaishnavi is definitely different than Dr. Julian. And the fact that when Vaishnavi made this critical error, an error in judgment to go with the natural childbirth, like, it was reported right then and there. Well, the huge part of the story isn't just that the baby died in a horrific manner. The story is that no one told the parents. Nobody. Why? Why could no one tell the parents? Anybody? chat moving? Is the chat moving? Like, seriously. 4 days. And then you find out from the funeral home. And here we go. That one hurts. It's so hot in here, man. Oh man, with this, I can't wait till autumn. The summer it's done. It's done up in here. It's damn near 8. It's 8:07 and it's like 98 degrees in here. I got lights, I got computer, I got screens on and everything like that. But damn it, man. If I turn this, I'm about to turn the AC back on. We're just gonna have to hear a low hum in the background. We're definitely gonna have to hear a low hum. Ramin, you said they panicked, and I think that is accurate. I think they both panicked. You know, you have a baby stuck in the birth canal, the head stuck in the birth canal, the baby could be suffocating in there. You want to keep a baby like that long. The longer it takes for you to get a child out, the more liable that there will be some type of mental or brain defects in the child. So you kind of want to have some smooth goings. But I'm wondering if both of these doctors in this case, because the case that actually happened seems similar. I'm speculating that in the case of Jessica Ross and Dr. St. Julian, that the baby was breached, just like in Vaishnavi Laxman's situation. That's my speculation. If it was just a normal, regular childbirth, because at first they were saying that, you know, the head came out and the baby was crowning in a story. And then I come into the news, the local news, that's what I always go to. And they say that, hey, that she performed a cesarean and feet and head came out. I mean, feet and body came out and the head was in the birth canal. Like, that baby was twisted up inside of its mother. That's the only other thing that I can think about. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to, let me phone in. Let's phone in.
Thank you for calling Call-In Studios host and call screener line. Please enter your show or
enter your 6-digit PIN. Welcome, host. You have not started a show session in Callan Studio and cannot yet receive calls on Talk and Shit Get N clicks.
You see, I like how she
Please
says that.
visit the Callan Studio website and begin your session. Music will play until your session begins, or you may call back when you are ready.
That music goes.
Welcome, host. You are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the Callan Studio web interface. Audio recording is on.
That is right. 7:30 p.m. we started, but it's a little after 8 p.m. 313-825-5557. I already have a call-in queue. That's what's up. Right now, we are discussing Dr. Tracy St. Julian, Southern Region Medical Center in Georgia. And yeah, we're talking about this insane, crazy, insane, and just tragic situation. What's up? You're on with Mo 3 times. We episodes. Thanks for calling. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, Mo 3 times. This is Mainline on the line. And I hate to call so early. I usually like to get into the thick of your program before I call and put my 2 cents in. But this is just heartbreaking, man. You know, just to hear a story like this, because the loss of life in itself is always a tragedy. But in this case, I agree with you 100%. It appears that attempted cover-up was being made to, and mostly for legal reasons, that things were not out in the open, man. And I was trying to express on my on my in the chat room is that it would seem that if the mother was already diagnosed pre-diagnosed with diabetes, that there should have been again, I'm not a doctor and I don't know anything about medicine, but it seemed like an alternative procedure should have been taken into account because of her diabetes, and that's my just what my mind is telling me, But again, you got to take into consideration that when you're dealing with the medical staff, that you expressed your involvement with the military, and when you're dealing on the doctor's level, which is always the highest level you can go in the medical field, it's easier to replace a general. It's easier to forgive and forget and give a general leeway as opposed to an enlisted person. So that's the kind of parameters that you'd be dealing with when you're dealing with patients and doctors. So the other thing, just quickly, that I like to say is that when you're dealing with the hospital being accountable for this tragic incident, it's more, and I don't mean this lightly, but it's easier for the United States to convict Donald Trump than it would be to try to get the hospital itself to be accountable in some sense for the doctor's professional actions, and I just wanted to get that out, man. And my heart is heavy. That's all I can say, for the family. But anyway, that was it, Mel. That's I just had to get that off. And again, to my JumpOut guys in the chat, I still use the stylus pen and I be rushing, so sometimes my comments don't come out as they should. So forgive me for that. But that's it, bro.
Definitely forgiven. Yeah, you know what? Definitely. I totally agree. It's going to be hard to convict the hospital because that's where my main concern lies with this now. When Mainline was talking, I thought he was going to go when he went to, like, he's talking about, the legal, and then he went to the medical profession. There's one thing that somebody said to me. One of my OGs said to me, legal and medical are one of the same. They're both practicing. You are practicing medicine. You're practicing law because that's what it is. You don't know what you know until you know what you know. And I think I just read Dr. St. Julian's resume down to you. It seems like she was a pretty capable doctor. Ramid also said that they panic, and I would think that she was in a full panic, trying to deliver that child, and it was definitely a devastating mistake. What I'm interested in now is, seeing that, of course, thoughts and prayers and sympathies definitely go out to the family. They're very young, and like it's something that can be very devastating. But we could definitely talk about compensation, but that just seems it just seems tacky talking about compensation. I would go to some type of like criminal complaint with the Southern Regional Medical Center. I hope they're lawyers. I hope Jessica Ross's lawyers and her boyfriend, I hope the family's lawyers are on top of their game, because this is a big case. And I'm sensing it because it's a medical thing, because it's something that's so foreign. Like, I don't really deal in the medical profession or anything like that, but it's just something that's interesting. And now I want to see how it's going to play out in courts. And I mean, that's the only thing we can look forward to now is just seeing how something like this is going to be handled. We got another caller in the line. This number looks familiar. We episodes. What's good?
You're chilling now. You're right. I'm glad at least you said that, man. And they did that. She had an accident. She had an accident.
What did I say? What did I say?
What you did next? What she do next? What she did next is what makes her wrong. She shouldn't have no license for that shit.
Right.
What she did next was wrong. The family already got to go with losing the baby the way they lost it. You gonna actually try to hide it?
They tried to hide it.
They try to convince them to do everything under the sun to get rid of it. So now you turn the accident and then you try to cover it up. So that's why you need to go.
Yeah. You get in a car accident
Is that
on
what
the
the first
street.
lady did? Did the first lady do it too?
Yeah.
She did it too? She lied too?
No. When all right. To be clear, the doctor here, pictured here at the bottom of the screen, is Dr. Tracy St. Julian. She had the same type of incident as Vaishni Laxman had. Vaishni came out right away, was like, listen, this is what happened. I'm sorry. She was distraught about it. I don't know the original response for Tracy Julian. And that's another thing why I want to actually see what the case is. Because ultimately, like I said, it was 4 days later, but she was the one. It wasn't the hospital. It wasn't a nurse. It wasn't anybody at her little private firm in Georgia. She actually came out to the parents and let them know. I would think her being a doctor at that time that it happened, I'm pretty sure she came out and said that the baby had passed. And if that's the case, and she didn't say it in a way of like, listen, this is what happened to your child, you know, then she's trashed. She's trash. Just like I didn't mean to Billy Joel that button, but yeah, that would not be good. That would not be good.
Well, the baby didn't pass. Well, number one, the baby didn't pass. So that's the lie right there. She killed the baby.
I mean,
so that's the lie.
Yeah,
the first words out of her mouth is a lie. That's why she's gone.
Manslaughter.
She should be gone for lying.
I mean, I don't.
Told the truth.
I'm saying I don't know what she said. Like we don't know what she said. That's what's going to come out in trial.
We know that she didn't say nothing to the parents that they were doing all they did, and the people had to report it. You just said all this stuff. You gave all the evidence.
Definitely, the people had to
say nothing to the parents.
The only reason why I'm saying is that we don't know is because obviously we know that she's going to lawyer up. And then from there, we got to figure out what's happening.
The parents didn't know. The parents ain't lying. We gonna call the parents liars?
No,
we can't call the parents liars.
No,
the funeral home. So they're the ones who exposed them. So their first story can't be nothing but an excuse, because if it was a mistake, it was a mistake. But you didn't say anything. You hid it from the family. 4 days later, you trying to get them to do all these things to cover yourself. So all of that right there is criminal. So what she should be getting, first of all, she shouldn't have a license to be allowed to practice. For more morality.
Well, yeah, and I'm with you. And Vaishni lost her license right away. Like, she had to go through the tribunals to get it back. America,
need to go to the Hooskow.
America, we have a little.
We have 6 months in jail.
Ooh, 6 months.
She need to do 6 months in jail. Now she don't need to get a whole bunch of time. She need to do 6 months in jail. She can do it on house arrest, but she need to do some time. She need to pay some money.
I'm with you. They definitely need to come.
I just want to see by both people, by the family and by the other hospital that she put in the mix, the other doctor to come in.
Whoever they subpoena, I hope it's a trial. I want to hear the story of, hey, when I want the prosecutor or whoever, the plaintiff, I want them to ask a question. Hey, when this happened, you realized that the baby had been decapitated, or that the baby, there was no life there anymore. What did you do after that? What specifically would we do? Exactly. Did you receive any instructions from the hospital? Because we know there's doctors, but then we know that there's people in the hospital where their whole bottom line is, lawsuits and money, and they come before any type of surgeon or doctor in there. So I just want to see exactly, totally what happened. What happened? What was said? And I want a timeline. I want to see a log. It's a crazy story. Is that Storm over there?
Hey.
You don't never get a mic though, like she's.
I know she's a proxy. She does it by proxy. Shit, Storm, you better get on that mic. You better talk your talk. You know why?
Nah, it definitely is facts though. It does have to, like you said,
it has to. I would like to see it played out in court. I want to see the timeline of when it happened. Me and him just had the discussion. Speaking of it, it's all about when it happened. You know what I mean? Like, did you really decapitate it and just try to push it back in and try to push it off to the next doctor saying, "Hey, emergency C-section is needed right now"? Like, what did you do? And why did you do it? And why you didn't keep it real?
Right.
Why you have to let it go to the next people?
You're a mother yourself.
Give her more time than TI. I'll give her a year and a day.
Yeah,
like if you messed up when you did it, then you understand. Like, own up. All right, I messed up. Whatever. This is what happened, and I'm owning it.
Yeah.
Don't pass it off to the next people and keep trying to like pass off the buck and say, you know what, have a cremation.
I want to check her background because now she might have done the other cover up. We need to investigate her whole firm.
It's that because you know what? At the end of the day, what happens when you find a cop guilty of perjury?
You got to go through all those cases.
Wind up what?
Right, exactly. You need to check her out.
Technically, that's what they're supposed to do. We know they don't do that, but you got to audit. You got to audit every single uterine fibroid that she blasted out using her robotics. You got to look at any type of medicine that she prescribed, any type of procedure that she prescribed, anything. You have to go through it with a fine-tooth comb.
Her whole entire career now is at
under scrutiny.
Yes.
Everything.
Yeah, 30 years of work gone.
And you're right, as it should be.
Right now, and if we honestly, there had to be some deception there. I'm with you there, Revolution. There had to be some deception there, but like honestly, 30 years, you threw it away not because of the mistake that you made, because we've obviously seen in other cases that people can come back from that. But hey, if you make that mistake and then you're just like, about it, when you're confronted with it and you fucking try to go away from the story, then we have issues with integrity and
Pretty woman. Hey,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Storm, what y'all up to? What y'all been getting into?
Yo, we reacting to you right now while you going live.
Very nice.
That boy is good.
Yeah,
Just for projects.
That's nice. That's nice.
Just for the stash.
It's good to hear from you guys. You ready for the next story? What you want to hear?
Please,
you want Donald Trump or you want M versus Melle Mel? Because I had to get this one out the way first because it's just so terrible. I mean, Donald Trump is serious, but it's still Donald Trump, so we're gonna have fun with that. And then we're gonna talk about the oldest hip hop beef I've ever heard of.
All right, let's go.
They made their shot. They took their shot. I mean,
they took the shots. Oh, I think we're going. You know what?
That's not even new. That's not even new.
We're going to Donald Trump. I'm going to break that down.
That's not a new version.
I'm going to break it down. There we go.
There
Hold on. I got to mute him. He's fucking my show. You're fucking my show up, Reckless.
Mm-hmm. Good and terrible.
Well, we're going to get to it. We're definitely going to get to it. I'm going to unmute you now. You with me?
Yes.
All right. 4 for 4. Oh yeah, that was a good one.
The American dream is dead.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what. You see it. I'm thinking about somebody make me a t-shirt of this exactly. Don't put the bang of Wendy's on his face. Leave it as this chopped up Photoshop job that I did last night, and I had a fun time making this one because it's hilarious to me. But 4 for 4. 4-4. Former U.S. President Donald Trump has been indicted 4 times in the past 4 months, guys. And then 4.
The American dream is dead.
4 different jurisdictions. So what's going on here? Let us talk about this. Where's my wand? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to untangle Trump's legal battles. I'm going to give you a MFN comprehensive overview. So if you're like me and you've been watching everything else but the news, or you're all been Donald Trumped out, because we had this conversation not that long ago. I am Donald Trumped out. But with the new revelations in Georgia, with the voting and him just fucking up the voting, my God, yo, I had to come back into the Donald Trump era. I mean, ladies, gentlemen, this effort, yo, I'm not even supposed to be throwing this out there, but boom, look at him. Look at Donald Trump and all of his henchmen. They look like Dick Tracy characters up there like that, yo. They got two people of color up there, expected. They got a guy with a hairpiece, boom, Rudy Giuliani, Rudy G, America's mayor. Regard me. America's mayor. Oh my God. America's Revolution, I have you muted right now, but when I unmute you, I need you to unleash on Rudolph Giuliani. All right. We got to untangle all this. Okay? Listen. In recent times, the legal landscape surrounding Donald Trump has become increasingly complex. Okay? The former president finds himself entangled in a web of legal challenges with a staggering, how many charges? With a staggering 91 charges, 91 criminal charges spanning across 4 jurisdictions. That's right, Georgia, Florida, Washington, D.C., District of Columbia, and I said Georgia, right? Oh, no, New York. That's right, New York. So, as he is embarking on another run for the presidency, these legal proceedings hold, what's the word? Immense significance for both Trump personally, as well as, well, I don't know. How about the American democratic system at large? How about Trump personally and the entire American democratic system at large? Listen, I'm not trying to be like extra with it, but let's do some highlights of it. There are an array of charges, okay? There's charges against Trump, including allegations of attempted election interference, Georgia, mishandling of classified documents, Florida, Mar-a-Lago, and controversial hush money payments, Stormy Daniels, New York, and the one in D.C. We know what that one was about. Yeah, let me click through them. You remember that? That's the one in D.C. He said, look at that. Those are the people doing that. They got his flags. And he was there. He's telling them, hey, guys, what you got to lose? Burn it down. He's right there. He's saying, burn it down. And then they're going to burn it down. Listen to me. Okay? These cases have become sprawling and intricate, making them challenging to follow. Believe me, I know. Extremely challenging to follow for all of us. Unless you're like a dedicated political observer, and I haven't been one of those since 2013. All right, now listen. There's different varying stakes to this. There's different cases that hold different levels of significance, both for Trump's personal future and a broader democratic landscape. Trump's personal American democracy. Remember that? Trump's personal American democracy. I be mumbling in that playback. I can't hear my mumbles. I want to hear my mumbles. Some cases have higher implications for democracy, while others are more focused on alleged personal wrongdoings. Let's get into it. Let us get into it. I'm clicking. Let's do a detail of the cases, all right? First of all, we're going to talk about the federal case. This is the insurrection. I'm going to go back up to these pics here. Let me start it off. This is him at the rally on January 6th prior to the takeover, the whiteout at the Capitol. The whiteout at the Capitol. Yes, that's what I want to call it. All right, so it's the federal 2020 election case. And this is the case in D.C., and this case has monumental implications. And I have this ranked number 1 right now because it could define the boundaries of political actions aimed at reversing election outcomes. I mean, during my lifetime, I've seen 3. One was with George Bush. The second one was with George Bush. And the third one was with Donald Trump. In my lifetime, maybe others. Well, presidential-wise, though. And then the charges include conspiracy to defraud the United States and obstruction of official proceedings because they were trying to do the traditional pick the president meeting, and he messed their pick the president meeting up. So there's a maximum potential for jail time for each count that is outlined in that case. That's DC. You see, I did DC that quick. I didn't go into 80 million minutes of this. I'm just giving you guys a brief summary because my second rank is definitely this latest and greatest, the 4th of the 444, the Georgia election indictment. All right. You want some Georgia picks? Yeah, remember I have to find 12,000 votes and I have them times a lot. Remember the phone call? Do I have to play the phone call? I don't want to play the phone call. We heard the phone call. Anyway, this is a state level indictment. All right. And it involves a sprawling racketeering conspiracy related to efforts to overturn the 2020 election results. Not the election. The election was done and over. He was trying to overturn the results. Oh, man. All right. So Trump and several associates. Yeah. These associates right here. They got a whole bunch of charges. I mean, they're violating the Georgia RICO Act. That's right. Racketeering, intimidation, corruption, organization. Is it something like that? RICO? I mean, it's the same type of case that fucking Rudy Giuliani used to take on the mafia, the New York mafia families back in the 70s and 80s. Right? Back to Georgia. So anyway, they got the RICO set on him. He's got the Young Thug treatment. Same lady that is giving Young Thug the business is giving Donald Trump the business. And there is definitely a maximal potential jail time outline for this. Also, let me tell you something in Georgia that's awesome. If he's found guilty, if Donald Trump is found guilty in Georgia, you would think that they could just, what's it called? Hold on, let me put Revolution back on it because his mind is working a little bit better than me. Revolution, when Richard Nixon had it done, when the president's guilty of something and they get rid of the punishment, what is it called? I forget. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Well, when he resigned?
Not when they resigned. Well,
when they resigned?
Nixon resigned, and then the president came and got him out of jail. So he didn't have to go to jail. What's it called? The forgiveness? I've been saying this shit all day. I've been saying it all day. You forgot it. Somebody in the chat help me.
Presidential
pardon. A pardon. He got a pardon.
Now y'all done started some shit, so we gonna finish. Y'all.
Thank you, Revolution. Presidential pardon. They got very strict pardons in Georgia. The governor can't just call him pardon. It's a pardon board. Like the same type of medical board that Dr. St. Julian's going to have to go through. There's a pardon board that Donald Trump will have to go through to be pardoned. All right. So then we have that. But guys, don't forget, because Georgia was for the DC case for the insurrection was case number 2. So we got the even numbers covered. Let's go to I'm sorry, we got We got 4. Anyway, I know Mar-a-Lago is number 2. Florida. This is how the former president of the United States was storing documents. At Mar-a-Lago. Oh, this looks like the side chick bathroom. Storing documents, banker boxes, documents scattered on the floor. This is how they came up. It's not like they went through boxes and put documents down. And this is how they found that people were protesting outside Donald Trump's house. I'm just going through these pics with you. But that's what he was doing. That's how... Yo, he was storing government secrets. And it's not just United States governments, all right? Like Germany, France, Australia, Japan. There were secrets that we were sharing with other countries that were just throughout Mar-a-Lago. But that's nothing. That's nothing. I did a show on that with NARA, the National Archives, those guys, where they went back and forth. He said, "I'm bringing these things back," and then he was like that, and then he was like, "No," because the media got stupid on him, so he went dumb. I don't think that's a strong one, but that's up there. You know what I mean? It's a federal case. It just explores him mishandling the classified documents. You know, after leaving office, potentially jeopardizing national security. That's all he did. And yeah. The charges include willful retention of defense information, obstruction of justice, plus more. Maximum potential jail time for each count has been outlined. 91 charges. 4 cases, 91 charges. And then, guys, you remember, because I did a story on this one. Remember, we talked about Stormy Daniels. That's right. Hush money to Stormy Daniels. And the case centers around Trump's attempt to conceal hush money payments to Stormy Daniels. Charges primarily revolve around falsifying business records, right? So what would be the impact of all of these cases? Remember, Michael Cohen was involved with that one. He was like, Michael Cohen went to jail for Donald Trump. Donald Trump ain't paid Michael Cohen the money that he was supposed to give him for defending him and, you know, being his guy. He didn't get his money. Then he went to jail. He ain't getting no presidential, what's it called again? What's that called? Pardon. He ain't getting no presidential pardon. And now if you see Michael Cohen out in these streets, especially on the internet, check him out. He is, first of all, he's a scumbag. But he's on the right side scumbag now. I can't explain it to you, but he's a scumbag and he's entertaining and he's hilarious and he's got that accent going. I don't know. Check him out. I don't take any of this. Ramid, you're absolutely right. Thank you for bringing that up because as I was getting up the images for the show and then I went into the house to take a break, I had the CNN on in the background. I had one of those new shows on in the background, and they were talking about how people are threatening the federal judge overseeing the Trump January 6th case. Ramid, did you also know that late breaking news, Wolf Blitzer style, like in Georgia, the grand jury, their names are available for the public. It's weird in Georgia, and they are being doxxed, aka they're being outed. This is who this is, and this is where they live, and they are starting to receive threats. So imagine the grand jury in Georgia in Donald Trump's case having their information just let go out in those streets for all to see, and how many crazy MAGA supporters there are. There are a lot of them, and imagine the threats that they are going through. And these are normal American people picked at random to come in and say that, hey, this deserves more attention, or no, this doesn't deserve more attention. And they said this case honestly deserves more attention. So here we go. But Donald Trump is running for president, y'all. He's running for president. So despite these facing multiple indictments, Trump's popularity among GOP voters remains strong. Key trial dates are set for 2024 and potentially allowing Trump to secure the nomination before trial proceedings even begin. And only voters hold the power to determine whether Trump can become president again, guys. Which means he can be found. There's always a guy, and I learned this when I was in high school. I don't know if this guy's still around or if they still do it, but when I was, studying law and politics and stuff like that, there was a story of that there is a guy that was in prison that runs every year. He runs for president every presidential election. He puts himself on the ballot. Or it may have happened. Whatever. Anyway, you can write your name on the ballot. You can vote for yourself for president if you want to. All right, so what is the likelihood of imprisonment? Like, through theoretical maximum sentence is substantial. Practical sentences are typically much shorter. In Georgia, he would absolutely positively have to do 5 years even before he could be considered to go to the pardon board.
This isn't okay, man. This is not okay.
Right? And then the possibility of higher court appeals and Trump's potential future executive powers, that has to be discussed. But the factors influencing the sentencing includes the strength of each case, the political landscape, and in each jurisdiction, and the potential for judge leniency. So the voter's role is that's the ultimate power as a voter, is you have the power to shape Trump's fate. His fate lies with the voters. If Trump secures presidency again, he could potentially use executive power to end federal prosecutions and delay prison time. Imagine Donald Trump's been convicted of all 4 of these cases. He still makes it and voted in as president, which could possibly happen. Because, anybody who out in the political landscape are people heads over heels for? I'm personally not a Trump guy, but I'm not stupid enough to realize that he does not have a huge ride or die type of base. You know what I mean? So, to conclude, in the intricate legal tapestry surrounding Donald Trump, the complexity of his multiple charges across 4 jurisdictions, Georgia, Florida, New York, and D.C., paints a picture of high-stakes legal battles. From alleged attempts to overturn an election to mishandling classified information and concealing hush money payments. These cases delve deep into the former president's actions. While the legal nuances may be challenging to grasp, the implications are crystal fucking clear. It is something, Flash. These implications are crystal fucking clear. They hold the potential to shape not only Trump's personal future, but also the very foundations of American democracy. So, as these trials unfold and trial dates loom in on the horizon, the eyes of the nation will remain fixed on whether these legal proceedings will redefine the political landscape or reaffirm the limits of presidential power. We shall see. I'm going back to revolution on this one, guys. I'm going back to the revolution. What do you think about that one? Nice little summary.
Yeah.
Have you been following these Trump things? Have you follow any of the indictments?
It's all the same stuff. They're just finally indicting him, and everybody's picking on the door. But I look at it going, these is not our wars. It has nothing to do with the people. This has to do with he doing something that's bothering how their structure, how they doing something, and now they stand on him. But look, who comes next? We so much focused on him, we don't even realize what's going to happen next. You got Tim Scott and DeSantis. DeSantis going broke trying to fight Tim Scott. Like, there's other stuff going on.
DeSantis to me, like, if we're going to go politically, I don't really check out Tim Scott, but I know for DeSantis to me is, like, the fucked up thing is he kind of won in Florida. Like, everything he wanted to do in Florida, he kind of won. And that's not how things are done politically. I've seen historically in the United States of America, like, you kind of got to make promises and push things over and kind of start making progress and then shut that system down and go over here and do different things like that. But DeSantis actually went to Florida and he f***ed it up. For better or worse, to me, I would say worse. Like, he was kind of successful, and he doesn't have anything else to run on, and his politics aren't going to translate across the entire American landscape. Like, that shit works in Florida for a Florida Republican or conservative. I don't want to throw it like it, but for a conservative Floridian, DeSantis works. But for a conservative, somebody that's conservative from Illinois, those tactics may not work. So I don't think DeSantis is a threat. I definitely, bro, Tim Scott, it'll never be a threat. Tim Scott will never.
He's in third.
You want to know why? And this
He's
is
in
for,
third right now. He's in third.
Of course he's in third.
Sanders in second. Who comes behind him?
Who else?
Prestige is seventh.
Who else is in? Who else is there?
Who's going to stand for the Republican? And then who we going for Democrat?
You already know that they're going to rerun Joe Biden, and it's going to be they're going to get washed. You want to know why they're going to get washed?
I'm not going to see that happen. I don't think that's going to happen.
I think they're going to run Joe Biden, and he's going to get washed. They've already said they're running Joe Biden. Joe Biden is going to run for president of the United States, and he's going to get washed. You want to know why he's going to get washed? I'm going to tell you why he's going to. He's going to get washed because there's no more COVID. Because you know what? It was a pleasure taking your little ballot to that ballot box a couple blocks away from your house, to get out of the house just to take your ballot to the ballot box and be out for a legal reason. No one's going to fill out that. No one cares about going to that mailbox anymore. No one's going to stand in line for Joe Biden because, like Trump says, he does not have the energy. I would have to remind you that, and I tell most people this when they're like, how Joe, like, you got to understand, like, some people absolutely positively love Joe Biden. They loved him. He was like a proxy to Obama, and some people voted for him for that reason. But I'm going to say the overall reason why Joe Biden got voted into the White House is because no one took Donald Trump serious the first time and he won, and people were so pouting because of Bernie. They wanted Bernie and he didn't win, and they really didn't want Hillary. They were turned off by Hillary, and I'm not going to say we, but they complained, they pouted, and then they didn't go vote. Or they said, F it, I'm going to vote for this third party candidate. And then Donald Trump came in, people were like, woke up, and they were like, damn, we got to get this guy out somehow. And they didn't vote for Joe Biden. They voted against Trump. They were like, this guy has the best chance of beating Trump. We're going to vote for him. But guess what? That's not the case this time. We don't have that COVID where you're just locked up looking at Donald Trump and CNN grilling him because, you know, he's lying about shooting bleach in people's veins and coming up saying that he lied about knowing how dangerous COVID was at the time. You don't have that. You don't have a captive audience anymore. You got people out here that's going through inflation. So now, you know, people got 3 and 4 different jobs. No one has time to even look at all this crap. That is specifically why I just gave you the summary of all 4 indictments that are going on. But if you ask me, the insurrection one is good, but I think the case in Georgia, this latest case in Georgia, has the best chance to win. And I'm going to tell you why. The reason why, because we already got him on tape saying some shit. And the only defense that he could possibly have, which is a defense that isn't defensible, it's just a mere plea for mercy, it would be ignorance. Like, I didn't know. And I'm not even gonna. I wouldn't necessarily not take Donald Trump at his word if he pled ignorance with anything that comes with, you know, being political or, you know, going by the political books or following the actual laws and rules and bylaws. And he was probably ignorant of that.
Follow the laws. They're just using it on him because he got it there.
Yeah, but I think they do. They manipulate the law, but I don't think it was even a manipulation of the law. Like we said earlier, people practice medicine and they practice law. So law is obviously a practice. You know what I mean? And I think he didn't even try to fucking practice the law. He doesn't even look at he doesn't study. He just says, this is what I want and I'm going to get it. He's been He's from New York.
Got it.
He's from New York, and
you got to give him something.
He's been bossing.
Don't take intelligence to become a president.
Oh no! I give it to him.
Is weak.
Like I am a fan of how people runs their political campaigns, and he ran a beautiful campaign. It just so happened that he ran a campaign off of fucking racism and xenophobia. He did. He appealed to his base, which is a lower base. Which there are some people in there that
like
are
Democrats
deplorables.
Go to the black people. He just went to his own people.
Honestly, Come on.
That's it.
Come on, Rich Revolution.
We got to be fair. We can't.
No, let's be fair. Let's be fair. Those weren't his people. Those people chose him. Remember, in the previous elections, we were talking about how those people that love him, we're talking about we are Main Street. We don't want Wall Street. Donald Trump is Wall Street. They didn't want him for years until he came in. He threw the red hat on and he said, "Hey, I saw Sarah Palin get a spike in these people when she was talking about some bullshit. I'm going to follow this." Obviously, yes, it is smart. It's just a basic observation. It is simple. It is what would we call it? Elegant. It would be elegant in its simplicity that he did it. It's not complex or anything. He had a red hat. He had a fucking private jet, and he had his mouthpiece. He did that thing. This time, though,
I'm just saying that he did it.
Right. I'm just
saying he actually did it. So he proved that the country's morale is broken. The Democrats they go to the blacks, because all of us are considered the poor unit, and then what he did was appeal to the poor white unit. That's it.
Oh yeah.
So he got what he got, but that goes to show what the government is actually like up top then. So it don't even matter it don't matter. Like if Trump's out the way, they pretty much trying to get Trump out the way, right? So then what's coming next?
I know there's a thing that Trump is standing in the way of these people trying to, do harm to the major public, but I don't see it. I think he's the number one. I honestly believe that he did more. He did, bro. I mean, fucking Sharknado was #1 movie before.
That's what I say. It don't mean nothing. That's what I'm saying.
It's just the people.
I'm just saying that either way,
people can be retarded sometimes. I'm taking a stand on this.
You can pull on strings.
I'm always so nice when it comes to Donald Trump talk, but come on. I don't have a problem with him per se, but I have a problem with the message that he puts out. I think is not genuine. I think a lot of people know that it's not genuine, but there's a lot of people out there that believe the shit he's saying. Like, totally believe it.
More people talk about it, the more people.
More power to him.
It stays relevant because everybody keeps talking.
I stay relevant because this nigga keeps getting fucking indicted. Yo, I don't know. What do you think the outcome is going to be?
Nobody but him, though. You don't talk about nobody else but Trump. Like,
what are you talking about?
He's not the only person running that's on some fuck shit. These mad other candidates. Fucking Joe Biden is on some fuck shit himself. We just like sweet jokers of what?
Yo, who did Obama run against in 2008?
I'm just saying all of them. I don't like the campaign on Trump is already big.
Who did Obama run against in 2008?
Keep going.
Who did Obama run against in 2008?
Hillary, Bernie.
No, Republican. After he became the nominee, who was his opponent?
Oh, Republican. It was the first one was John McCain and all them, right? Went against him.
John McCain, 2008. Second guy.
Second guy wasn't Christie. It was.
He's a Mormon. You don't remember.
Mitt Romney.
It was Mitt Romney. I saw they did a Netflix video of Mitt after
he didn't give up his taxes either.
Let me tell you what, Mitt Romney, and I have no issue with Mitt Romney or John McCain compared to Donald Trump. Honestly, I have.
They all go through the same shit too, so.
They all go to, man. I know it's it. They say like, do you want to? Yeah, but man, bro, don't like. Please con me, cause smooth me out of my money. Don't bop me. He'll bop you in your head and take your shit. Don't bop me. Don't bop me. I want to wake up with a smile on my face, like, and then realize all my shit's going, oh, because she got me, the bitch got me. Not the bitch is coming up to me like, give it to me. You know what I mean? It's just the way, like, different ways you want to get fucked on. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Time out. Cause y'all.
Yeah.
I just don't go to the party. They can't do it to me if I don't go to the party.
Don't go to the party. Don't go to the party.
I watch them all in the parking lot, watching them go in and do what we do. And just realizing they all do the same thing.
Nasty efforts.
All marketed differently. Same thing.
They do. I mean, we could have a.
I remember that.
It's just the way things are run.
Every 4 years, but Congress doesn't change unless Congress changes. The people who really run it are the people, are their heads.
It's beautiful you
already
that
have an
that
agenda.
because
they just pick who's going to do their face for
that is one of the biggest issues that we have. First of all, I would say that your local shit, wherever you live, the people in your school board, the people running your children's school, the people running your local government, anything from how the roads are upkept to how many trash cans you get for trash can day. That shit is important because that's right then and there. And then you branch out into your state and then you go on. I think the issue that we're having hugely because, all right, Obama, the issue was people were mad that Congress wasn't doing anything. Congress wasn't doing anything. Congress still isn't doing anything because our politics since 2008 have changed exponentially to the point where these guys are literally staying on this side of the aisle and these guys are staying on this side of the aisle and they aren't breaking up for nothing. So it's something that we can start to become to predict. You can predict how the House is going to be laid out, how the Senate is going to be laid out by who the president is. I think they found in 2008 when the Democrats had, both the House, the Senate, and the presidency for those first 2 years of Obama's presidency, I think that they saw that some shit could have went down. And I think that I'm upset that some shit didn't go down, but they saw that and they did not want that to ever happen again. So from now on, if you have a president, the non-presidential side is going to run the Congress or the Senate, one or both. They would probably want both, but that's really how I've seen it play out. But these people, we got what's mama's from California, Dianne Feinstein. We had Mitch McConnell. These guys are getting up there in age, and I think we need some new blood in there. What do you think about somebody being able to be congressman for 50 years? Is that an issue with Congress that you can keep running and going and going and going, or is that an issue with the voters where we just become complacent, that we are so engulfed in everything else, everything, just trying to survive for the majority of us, that we don't have time to really look into someone's fucking politics?
They know we don't. And reality of it is the poor. There's no such thing as being rich if there isn't a poor. So they can't allow people to come up. That's the system. So even though it's free. It's free to do what you want, but this is how the system goes. And if you break these laws, it is what it is. I'll figure it out. And if you get up here, we might let you in. It's not all of this. Instead of thinking about it from Trump or Biden or anything, or just you go to Congress and the Senate, we say people who are not going to do it, right? They're the ones who actually run it. The CEOs run the company, not the president.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I would agree with that. So I mean, I would say Mark Zuckerberg has more pull than... Well, maybe not more pull, but he's got some pull. It definitely doesn't. Yo, did you put me onto that book, The Creature from Jekyll Island?
You know it.
I mean, I didn't. I've been...
You know it. I had the
Let me
book,
throw it up
so
for you
I got
guys.
past all the... I don't read all the four stuff.
What, the preface?
I go straight to to chapter 1.
And I pointed out the preface because I was like, I was already 45 minutes in and I was still in preface. But I'm telling you, bro, if you just grab that book and read the preface, you're gonna understand a lot. I mean, he breaks it down. And this is the 5th edition that I'm looking at. He was breaking it down, but 45 minutes in, I mean, I understood it.
Before you get to chapter 1, he tells you the whole breakdown.
Yeah.
He gives it to you straight.
Before the start of the book.
You get to page 600, you start learning about the CRT and all them.
Yeah, we're going through all the and they sound listen, ladies and gentlemen. Basically, what they're saying is, I don't know. I don't want to say basically because there's we got the viewers out there, and I want them to check this shit out. I want them to check this out, though. I don't want them to look at me like, all right, Mo 3 times gave me this information because I be reliable. I be reliable.
That's the one I got. 5th edition.
Yeah, this is the one I'm YouTubing. I'm YouTubing it right now. I mean, I did it as an audio, so I've been walking around the house listening to this. I got to do better with these images here. It's probably better.
They got pictures in the book, though. They got pictures of all these guys. They got pictures of the first 10 in the book.
Yeah, I'm gonna look that
Morgan
up.
and Rockefeller. They got the, if you see the pictures, they show you the 10 JP Morgan off. They show you.
They break down the
it down about how it
stories.
all
They break
came.
down
The
the
World Bank.
stories.
Yup, they break it down.
They definitely break it down. They break it down, and then they come up and they tell you how. I don't know if it's like every edition he's just putting in extra like samples of incidents that happened since the last. Oh, it's just footnotes. Okay. All right. When was this book written?
Extra footnotes. Oh, I forgot. I couldn't tell you that.
Is this like an 80s or 90s? Like the early 90s? I'm thinking it's the early 90s.
I can Google it right now. I'm looking up.
Yeah, I mean, I got the Google up right now, but I can't. But listen, just check this book out. It's called The Creature from Jekyll Island. You can go on YouTube and just type in The Creature from Jekyll Island, put it on your earpiece, snap them on like so, and check out this book. Put an hour in, you know, maybe after the show as you're winding down, going to sleep or whatever, or when you wake up in the morning, just put an hour in. Put an hour in. I will play the 45-minute preface every morning when I get up to work just to remind myself what the hell is going on in this world. It's nuts.
It's one of those books, boy.
It is. It's one of those good ones. Revolution, you got
1994.
94. Which means like he started writing that shit in 88. Like he's been writing it since the 80s.
Hey, he just got the old documents. He got the old. He went in. But that book, that's a financial Bible. They call it the financial Bible. To read that book, and finances, out with it. The matrix on a regular human level, how they made the matrix.
How they made it.
The school system, everything, like.
Yeah, but when you take that information and then like I know like people hate Michael Moore, but when you take that and then you put it with other information, like when Michael Moore. I don't know if it was Bowling for Columbine or Sicko or one of the ones where he gets a hold of corporate documents of, you know, basically their plan and how they can be successful with their plan. And they break the plan down basically saying that, hey, these people are upper middle class. They want to be wealthy. They want to be the top 1%. And that's what they're going to do. They're basically fighting. They're fighting to be that top of that pyramid, and like these people are like say top management. They're upper management. They're not the owners, but they're upper management. So they can see the owners. They can see the lifestyle of the owners. They know that they're putting a shitload of work and they're stressing out, and they would like to be, you know, the entire family taken care of. So they do not mind exploiting the shit out of people, and it's just the trickle down theory is never going to work. Trickle-down therapy is never going to work. There was some guy on YouTube saying that, I forget the words that he used for it, but he's basically saying, like, you know, the difference between rich people and poor people, like San Francisco, there is a earthquake. So all the rich people start buying all the resources. They're buying out all the stores. They're making sure that they've chartered all these planes so their family can be taken care of and extra comfortable. Meanwhile, the people that live out in the street, you know, the working people who have experienced this earthquake and have seen their, you know, their friends and contemporaries' houses broken down and everything. They're out in the streets. They're handing out bottles of water. They're cleaning up. They're being, you know, gracious to one another. And meanwhile, this rich guy up here is being a dickhead. And I don't think that's for everybody, but I kind of understand that theory that the guy was putting out there on that TikTok. I don't know. Ramen told me to use the big dummy. Hold on. This might be it.
You big dummy.
Oh, you want to hear that sound effect?
You big dummy.
I'm definitely keeping that. I'll get back to that. But The Creature from Jekyll Island, check it out. Revolution, I was asking again, do you have any we're hungry for knowledge, any other books that we should check out?
I tell everybody, if you want to learn about finances, start off with
Rich Dad,
before
Poor
you
Dad.
get to that book, start off with Big Dad. What is it? Poor Dad, Rich Dad, Poor Dad,
Rich
and
Dad,
then
Poor
go to
Dad.
their series.
The which series?
Yeah, because they have a lot of good series. The Rich Dad Poor Dad series.
Oh, it's a whole series. I only read that.
I think it's Jeff Gardnett. He's another writer that's corporation setups for them. Just the information. They're easy reads, though. They're not hard reads.
Yeah.
He just talking to you. It's a really good read.
Like, honestly, Robert Kiyosaki, that Rich Dad Poor Dad book was really good. That's like one of the books that I've seen everybody says, like anybody who's like in an entrepreneur has an entrepreneur spirit, and just regular people say, hey, that was just it was a good book. And it's eye opening because for somebody like me who's like, oh man, like we understand like the ills of capitalism and how much, more money, more problems, like that is some real shit. But he also breaks down a whole different perspective of wealth and attainment of wealth and the rich and middle class. And check it out, you guys, because listen, I've watched movies. I've watched movies, and like the good ones can get me to see a different perspective, someone's plight or something like that. But there's nothing that will get your brain juices, your imagination, and your get up and go like just dropping a book down. You may not want to start with Rich Dad Poor Dad. I mean, but that is a good read, like you said. But yeah, definitely.
The first is the easiest read because if you read that book, the reason why I read the Dr. Jekyll book, The Island of the Island, was because of reading Rich Dad Poor Dad. And once I read that, when I was so intrigued on it, I was like, yo, I need another book. And then in the book, he tells you where to reference to back up what he's saying. You know what I mean? And so that's it's really, I say to read. Watching it is one thing, but if you can read it, man, if you read it, it's just something totally different, and it's an easy read. It is not a hard book to read. It's not big trick words. He's just telling you a story.
He tells you a story of how he grew up between he had a rich dad and he had a poor dad. He'll go into and tell you, the relationships between the two dads. But yeah, that's one of the ones I read. Maybe
it was really about mindsets. It was the mindsets of the two pops.
It is.
One was a teacher, and one was an entrepreneur. And in the end, you figure out, the meaning of both of them and how they made it. Because I ain't gonna tell the story, but it's one of those books. If you ain't got nothing going on, you want to make some money, watch it, read it, listen to it.
I like it.
I want more. I want more. I want more.
I think it's time. Sucker MC.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
8. You guys see the title. Look at my thumbnail skills. Sucker MC's old beef, literally old beef, because these two niggas old as fuck. They too old to be beefing. They're too old to be beefing. No, you're never too old to beef. That was a trick statement I just made right there. Listen. What am I doing here? I'm gonna go back here. Ladies and gentlemen. Gentlemen and ladies, Sucker MC's old beef. We've got to talk about Eminem, one of the best to ever do it, and we got to talk about Melle Mel, also one of the best to ever do it. Now, let me tell you what. Honestly, these are not my favorite rappers. They're not. I'm more familiar with Eminem than Melle Mel, but then I was watching the Melle Mel documentary today, and they were playing music, and I was like, oh shit, I know Melle Mel. The only reason why I know Melle Mel is because I'm like years old, but that's neither between here or there. So they're beefing. Melle Mel is beefing with Eminem. You're going to ask me, like, who are these people? And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to break it down because I'm getting more thorough. And when I say thorough, I mean actually thorough with these researchers here. Let me break it down to you. Anyone who knows rapper Eminem, a.k.a. Slim Shady, knows he's a recluse, all right? So when we ask, how did this beef get started? My thinking was, it wasn't Eminem who started. You know what I mean? Because, Eminem is like the Howard Hughes. Look at this picture here. That's Howard Hughes. He's the Howard Hughes of hip hop. He's a recluse. He's never out and about in them streets. Look at Howard Hughes with the boxes on his feet right now. Look at Howard Hughes with the boxes and the beard and everything like that because he developed some type of agoraphobia later in life and some shit like that. But this is the version of Eminem. You know? So imagine this. It's the late 1970s. You're in the heart of the South Bronx, New York City, and there's where you see Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. Let me throw it out to you. I'm gonna keep it over here. I'm sweating, but I'm doing it for the YOU. You know what I mean? That's Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. Yo, they burst onto the scene in the late 1970s, and the group consisted of Grandmaster Flash, for my old schools up in here, I know.
Oh, it's good.
I'm gonna break it down to you.
Good and terrible.
It was Grandmaster Flash. It was Melle Mel, Kid Creole, not to be confused with KID Creole. This kid had 2 D's in his name. Keith Cowboy, Scorpio, remember Scorpio? Scorpion, and Raheem. They combined turntablism, break beats, DJing, and meaningful lyrics that actually left a mark. So as of the late 1970s rolled in, they made their mark by performing parties and live shows. By 1980, they caught the attention of the Sugar Hill Records, and their journey took off. I mean, the early 1980s brought them success with their first hit, Freedom. But it was the message in 1982 that stood out. And the song wasn't just music, it was a platform for real world issues. Grandmaster, oh my God, the Furious Five basically set the stage for conscious hip hop early on in hip hop. Now, everyone is pointing to an interview that took place on YouTube channel, The Art of Dialogue. Let me bring that up. Where is it? Where are my... Here it is. The Art of Dialogue, right? There was an interview. This interview, I'm looking at it down. Let me scroll. Came out 5 months ago. So, but I was like, nah, it couldn't be because I didn't see this Art of the Dialogue interview. I absolutely positively saw Melle Mel talking his shit about Eminem on DJ Vlad. Rah!
Pretty woman. Hated it.
Right? So, I don't know. Would we want to watch that one? I mean, it's the Art of Dialogue interview. I would say let's watch. Why would I want to say that? I don't know. You guys, let's check it out.
What you think about Eminem being at number 5 on the Billboard Top 50 Rappers of All Time list?
Obviously, he's a capable rapper. If you was talking about sales, he sold more than everybody. If you're talking about rhyme style, okay, he got a rhyme style. But he's white. He's white. So now, if Eminem was just another nigga like all the rest of us, would he be top 5 on that list when a nigga that can rhyme just as good as him is 35? That had records and all that. He's 35. He's white. And the point is this, if I was white, nigga, I'd be greater than Elvis. Niggas be like, Melle Mel is greater than Elvis. Melle Mel is the greatest white man that has ever lived. He came up with a culture. He was a part of a culture that changed the whole world. That is a great ass white man right there. But I'm not white. I'm one of the niggas. So, you know. So now you could be, anybody could be as mad as they could feel how they want to feel. If they don't think that race plays a part in the equation of how great he is. I heard one of the dudes that's down with him, Royce the 6'9", or Roy, one of them, I heard he's just as good as Eminem. Why ain't he as big as Eminem? Because he black. Ain't none of that shit hard to figure out. Eminem gets a top spot because he's white. Like I said, if I was white, they'd be comparing me to Elvis. It'd be like, that nigga Melle Mel is pretty as Elvis. This motherfucker here. Look at that nigga arm. Look at this nigga. So it has something to do with it. Now whether he would be higher or lower, but still you can't take that out of the equation. If he was a black rapper, he'd be like, he wouldn't even make a list. He wouldn't even make the list probably. But Busta, who I would say is number one, let's see, this is the difference between who writes what list. Busta, I would say, is the number one rapper on the overall. Nobody's going to take Busta. Busta could rap just as good as Eminem. Eminem, he has like his style, he got like a nice little tricky, gimmicky style. The way he put his words together, the way he string his words together is real, and I'm not going to say unique because other people could do it, but he does it, right? But to say that he would be even sell as many records if he was just another brother, that's not true. It's just not.
Yo, that's what he said. That's what that man said. That's what he said. Okay? All right, so why would I want to say that DJ Vlad interview was the one that did it? Revolution tried to give it away for you earlier. There was a interview with DJ Vlad and Melle Mel back in during COVID times. Let me bring that up for you guys. Bam. Oh, wait, I'm ready for you. Let's check it out.
There was a clip, I think, from a TV show where you said you could easily beat Eminem in a battle.
Easy. It would be the easiest thing I ever did. Easy.
Okay, explain.
Because at the end of the day, mechanically, technically, he's a great rapper. But I'm the greatest. I know how to write it. When I put it down, it's gonna stay down. It would be the easiest thing I ever did. Easy. See, when people bring that up, just say you can't beat Eminem. Just say that. But I've been doing this all my life. It would be even the battle. It would be the easiest thing, and I don't even write like I used to write. It ain't even like I wrote this. No, nothing like that. This is my destiny. Everybody else that's out there rapping, y'all trying to do something that I already did 40 years ago. And like I said, it would be the easiest thing I ever did. Easy. Mainly because everybody out there gonna say, no, that's impossible. He can't. No, you can't. It's just like with all the 50 great MC thing. If you think it's 50 great MCs, you're not one of them. If you can count 50 guys, it ain't even 50 great niggas. How it's gonna be 50 great MCs? Great. That changed territory.
Yeah, let me pause right here so I can give you guys full transparency. I haven't really watched this since 2021. I remember this. I probably perused the first 10 seconds, saw there was a short clip of him talking about how he could beat Eminem, and now this is coming back to me right now. So I am watching this probably the same way you are.
It's not there. It's just 50 guys that can rap, and the 50 guys are guys that made records. So that's not of all times. That's when records came out. You see what I'm saying? Like my mechanics and my dynamics and my knowledge of what rap is all about, it supersedes anything that goes on out there. Mm. You know, but it's just that piece. You see, this is what people are looking at. This old motherfucker, how he gonna beat so and so? Easy, because I'm an old motherfucker. I've been doing it longer. I'm gonna do it better than you. I'm gonna come off better than you. I'm gonna come off better. I'm gonna come off better. And that's my whole thing with all this hip hop shit. I don't pray. But the one thing that I did pray, just stand me up next to these guys. Then you're gonna see who they are. Then you're gonna see who they ain't. You're gonna see who they not.
Hold on. I'm gonna rewind a couple seconds because look at the emotions here. Look at the emotions. He's getting like, I feel like he's got the shakes with him. He's getting a little shaky right now. And I mean shaky, and like that energy is changing. That energy is changing. He's getting like emotional with it. He's getting emotional. I feel like some tears could come out right now.
Then you're gonna see who they are. Then you're gonna see who they ain't. You're gonna see who they not. And I ain't even gonna have to say a rhyme. Just stand me there. Then you're gonna see a legend compared to who you think a legend is. Then you're gonna see a true legend. And all I gotta do is stand there. Because my, like I said, my mechanics and my knowledge of hip hop, my delivery, whatever I'm gonna bring to the table is top notch.
All right, I'm gonna stop it right there. I'm gonna stop it right there because. Rahmed, he did take it down and say it was a joke. You wouldn't. All right. First of all, let me show you how Eminem responds to this. All right. Let's throw up M. Let's throw up a pic of M real quick. Yeah, that's him. Listen, they're both. I mean, Eminem's been in the rap game since the late '90s. He's damn near got 30 years in. Melle Mel's damn near got 50 years in this hip hop thing. He came in the late 70s. All right, so this interview with DJ Vlad took place in 2021. The first interview that everybody said that the beef is coming from took place about 5 months ago, that Art of Dialogue conversation. But let me tell you what, I'm going to say that this has been stewing since 2021. Ipso facto, may perhaps be the reason why Richie Revolution was like, oh, it's old beef. Because yes, we know. It has been going around for a lot of people don't know that. We know that. But let me tell you something also. Eminem's had a song that he's featured on with a rapper named Easy Mill. Easy Mill stands for Ezekiel Miller. He's a Filipino rapper. And I mean, I was listening to his stuff. He goes. He's all right. He's good. He's all right. No, he spits. And Eminem jumped on the track with him. I mean, if Eminem's going to jump on the track with you spitting. And he's not doing no Bootsy, no little Bootsy features. You know what I mean? He's not coming out of his dungeon or wherever his reclusiveness for no BS. So Easy Mill dropped a hot one. Eminem decided to get on it. It's called The Realest. Now, The Realest comes from a project that Easy Mill was working on in 2022. And it ended up being a deluxe. So a deluxe is like an album where it's a digital album and you can add music and take music and swap songs. It's like a ever-changing album. It's a new thing for you guys that don't know, or that's what it is. Deluxe. You get a deluxe and you have access to music, and when artists feels like dropping more music onto that album, you're getting new music. So in a deluxe, you might have a deluxe that came out maybe 4 years ago and people liked it, and so you might add a song to it, 2 or 3 years later or something like that. Usually it's every couple of weeks they add to the deluxe until they do their next album. But with saying all this, I'm going directly to the Eminem part of this rhyme. The rapper Easy Mill is rapping, and the last word he leaves off with is addiction. And then M comes in like so. Check it out.
Stop trying to be because I've really no right to complain much. Hip-hop has been good to me, Well, but when they say that I'm only top 5 because I'm white, why would I be stunned? My skin color's still working against me. Cause second I should be the none. Being white ain't why they put me at 5. Nope, it's why they can't put me at 1. They're coming with more venom, so the haters I'm aiming it toward them. And all the envious rappers I torch if I'm on a joint with them. And that is the only retort, is I'm not played in the clubs. Motherfucker put a cork in it. Only reason they still play your shit in the clubs is cause you still performing them. I am a guest in this house, but I turn this bitch to a mansion. That's an expansion, made it gargantuan. England, Germany, France, and Japan's in this bitch, even Dubai. Because my music they do buy. You died trying to sign just 2 side guys. Just could not unscrew my head up the blue-eyed devil. I never quit, do I? Cause you know you get washed like a bar soap. You pussy, you wouldn't give a cigar to smoke. I know it eats at your heart like an artichoke. Because you know that's how likely you are to choke. Your heart is broke as I rip you apart. I go bananas, proceed to spit every bar I wrote. I was spitting before my mother's water broke. It's not even close, you bitch, how my father go. Gen Z is acting like rap experts. Sip up your gaps and close your mouths. Bitch, you ain't been on this planet long enough to tell me how rap's supposed to sound. Y'all need to stick to what you do best. Shooting schools up, go load up rounds in your parents' gaps and go to class and let off at the strap and go to town. Shout to the Furious 5 and Grandmaster Flash, but boy, there's someone who really is furious. Stay out his path, his wrath avoid. And I'll be the last to toy with a juice head whose brain is like half destroyed, like a meteor hit it. Well, then went Melle Mel. We lost his asteroid scams. God was like, I got him, but I'm gonna start him at the bottom of the barrel. Brought him in the world where the mother wasn't value and his father was a cow. Taught him as a child when the fucking body was around how to get himself up and out of poverty, and now not even a growl in his stomach.
All right. All right, slow down, Em. Because this song is no.
And this time, everybody about to witness it. Bro told them to move, just doing this job. But y'all wanted to jump him, so now we got a problem. All right, bet. Let me tell y'all what really happened. Heard they was jumping.
No one raps like that guy, Montgomery Brawl. Let me tell you what. All right, so we saw Eminem. That was his response to these interviews. But, oh my God, Melle Mel was not done. Ha 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 ha.
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
Yo, Melle Mel.
I'm gonna tell you something straight off the motherfucking press. I ain't coming for no foolishness.
Came back with a diss song of his own. Where is it? Let me find it for you because I lost it. But I got it. It's somewhere around here. It's either that or, I mean, I could definitely. I should. I think I'm going to do it. I'm just going to show you. All right, so I came across a TikTok that said basically the best explanation video on Eminem versus Melle Mel. And in hopes of saving a little time and seeing it, I came across this and listen to me. Understand me. Feel me. Feel me. Regard me. Regard me. Let's check out the reaction. About 2 minutes.
1923 ass. Don't bring no 1919, 1923 ass raps to this battle.
It's the one. No apologies. This ain't a disclaimer. I'm the king of legend, the first Hall of Famer. Making diss tracks, I know you with that. Now everybody get ready for the kickback. Why you hurt? Why you mad? Now you look bad. Like a roach just crawled out of your book bag. In a packed class, you lack class. Go to bed with no supper, cause you gotta suffer the backlash. Top five.
Fucking rap. Man, I quit this. Nigga, I'm done. Yes, that's why I be listening to you niggas. Man, he don't do. Man, no! What in the AARP? Oh my God. Oh man. Hey, Eminem! Alright, no, ain't no way you can turn up. Why I gotta listen to the rest of this? Here we go.
Cap, you the piss that's on the floor in the elevator of rap. Why you talking?
Oh my God, this shit track in the elevator of rap. Why you do your family like that, bro? Then stop, Melle Mel, for 1 second. Why did you do your family like this? Oh, I'll rewind this shit.
Why you hurt? Why you mad?
Why you hurt?
Bad. Like a roach just crawled out of your book bag. In a packed class, you lack class. Go to bed with no supper, cause you gotta suffer the backlash. The top five is Cap. You the piss that's on the floor in the elevator of rap. Why you ducking on the game when you shit on my name? Why they put Pee Wee Herman in the Hall of Fame?
Why would the elevator of rap have piss on the floor? That's all. All right, go back to this thing. I mean,
I would give you a pound, but I break your hand. I got a lawyer so
stop breaking me, rap man. Stop, man. I will give you a pound, but I'll break it. Hey, Eminem!
Well, take your land. Yo, check your man. Come and look at your friend, cause I think that Eminem is pop.
Ha ha ha. Yo, he tried to pull a fasty on us. Hold on for a second. Skip backwards 6 seconds.
Eminem!
But take your land, yo, check your man, come and look at your
But take your land. You want to know why he doesn't say the line before? You want to know why he doesn't say the line before? Whoever this gentleman is right now, giving us the best explanation video on Eminem versus Melle Mel. I'm going to tell you what. Melle Mel's verse went something like this. My lawyer's so white, he'd take your land.
No, my cousin let me off, Captain. Cuz came out the water like, let's get it cracking.
He said, my lawyer is so white, he'd take your land. I'm gonna let that sink in. I mean,
Well, take your land, yo, check your man, come and look at your friend, cause I think that Eminem is popping pills again. We call him Pill Clinton or either Pill Gates. What pill did homie take to make him hate the great? Think you are, but you ain't, still you made a mistake. Hit a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'ma give your fans one more chance to go online.
Count it to 8.
And re-energize that bromance. After that, say your last goodbye. Cause before I put Matthew's lights out, I'm turning up this fucking Wi-Fi. Another little kid, don't hate the greats. More white chalk.
How in the fuck do you turn up the Wi-Fi? How the fuck you turn up the Wi-Fi, nigga?
There you go. And that was it. And like Ramid said, he apologized for it. My thing is, yo, listen. He apologized. He said, we'll go through it. Melle Mel is reflecting. On Saturday, he dropped the song. In light of the 50th anniversary of hip-hop, my original intention was to contribute in an engaging and enjoyable endeavor to enrich the cultural landscape. The statement reads, regrettably, my response fell short in its execution, and I accept full responsibility for my misjudgment. I acknowledge that my perspective was ill-conceived, and I am prepared to take ownership of this oversight. It has become evident that Eminem's dedicated and passionate fan base stands unwaveringly by his side, which is a testament to their genuine admiration and loyalty, a truly commendable aspect. From the onset, I have consistently recognized Eminem's exceptional prowess as an MC without reservation, he continued. My unfortunate choice of words, suggesting that his success is solely attributed to this color of his skin, was in no way reflective of my genuine beliefs. It was an attempt, I'll bet, misguided to engage competitively with the MC sphere. Mel concluded, it is important to acknowledge that the dynamics of hip-hop have evolved over distinct eras, and it is inevitable that not everyone will resonate with my perspective, just as I may not fully comprehend others. Throughout my involvement in shaping hip-hop landscape, the cornerstone has been built upon foundation of mutual respect, even when personal preferences may differ. Mel's conflict with M began after, they said the appearance on our dialogue, but we were already showing you that M knew what the hell was going on since the DJ Vlad interview in 2021. But my hat's off for Melle Mel being a man enough to apologize. I don't know. I would say that hey, maybe this Melle Mel. How about this? How about just say, listen, I'm sorry. I don't know. It wasn't a bad apology. It seems to me that he, kind of put the onus of being misguided because Eminem's fandom and fan star base is so strong. But let me tell you what, I like Eminem. I do. And gotta be honest, I've had the conversation specifically about Royce 5'9", because Royce the 5'9", is one of hip hop greats. And if it was reversed, if Royce the 5'9" was a white man like Eminem and vice versa, they would be in probably similar situations as is now. I mean, no. I think Royce 5'9" would be obviously on the Eminem status, even though their whole style, flow, the shit, they're both from Detroit. It's comparable. And I'm talking about Royce 5'9" has lyrical skills. He's not like they both sound alike. I listen to Jersey rappers. When you're from the same area, you guys, when you'll know that, all right, say, I know there's a lot of rappers in Cumberland County, right?
Bitch, I'm from Cumberland.
Cumberland County hip hop scene is sick. It is sick. I'm waiting for South Jersey to be on top of the world because there's.
Bitch, I'm from Cumberland.
Just from Cumberland County alone, there's so much talent there. But when I listen to him, I'm like, oh my God, I could tell. I know you're from South Jersey. Oh, you sound like you're from Vineland. You sound like you're from Bridging. You sound like you're from, like, I can tell these sounds here. But then say if I'm from, say, the West Side, I mean, everybody's going to sound the same to me. And I don't know why I say that, but I say that in trying to discuss the Eminem, Royce 5'9" thing, because I feel like he does make a point with that. I don't think that if Eminem was a black rapper, he would not have the success. That is my opinion. He wouldn't have as much success as he does now. However, that doesn't change the fact that he would. That Melle Mel, that wasn't it, Melle Mel. That wasn't it. I'll tell you something, too, that I like. I feel that these two hip-hop legends who have already experienced their heyday need to stop. Like, Melle Mel speaking on M back in 2021 was whack. Obviously, he's entitled to his opinion, but he also is susceptible to a response, which he got. He sounded like he was hating, honestly, in these interviews. He sounded like he was hating. And M did what he was supposed to do. He responded on wax. Melle Mel wasn't up to the task. He still sounds like it's 1983, and he has damn near 50 years of hip-hop experience, and he refused to grow beyond the box that he placed himself in. M has evolved, on the other hand, with his damn near 30 years in the music business. He was nice in the late 90s, early 2000s, and then he kept his katana sharpened. Melle Mel has no new songs that I have heard of since 1987, and I know because I'm of age. That's how I know that he has. I haven't heard of anything since 1987 from Melle Mel, and I know because, like I said before, to be honest, Melle Mel needs to shut the fuck up. He's the chief reason why youngins don't respect their elders. Like, M's emergence into hip-hop began 30 years ago, and he still makes music that gets played today. You see his style. He still sounds like Eminem, but his style has evolved over the years. And for 50 years, Melle Mel, I would at least have you sounding, I don't know. That's his style. That's his style. This subject hurts me, not as much as the baby subject that we did earlier, but it still hurts me. All right, but let me tell you what. All right, M's emergence into hip-hop began damn near 30 years ago. And he still makes music that gets play. So where was Melle Mel around that time when Eminem came out? Was he making new music? Was he beefing with RZA? No. He was doing the same hits that he's been doing on Sinbad's Summer Jam on HBO. Remember Sinbad's Summer Jam? He had all the funk players out there, Ohio players and all them out there. You know? And Melle Mel was done by 88. He had a 10-year run at most, because he started in like 78. But it's over. And he's never been mentioned as a top rapper, and Slim Shady is. I don't have Eminem in my top 5, but he's definitely in my top 20. And to be totally transparent, I do agree with the Royce 5'9" reference. As I've said the same thing. If you like M and you haven't heard Royce 5'9", you should really check him out, because Melle Mel is still not better than Eminem. That's all I got to say about that. Melle Mel is not as good as Eminem. I appreciate his apology. Oh my goodness. Ramit is talking about all the Jersey rappers. Slaughterhouse, Joe Budden, Queen Latifah, Redman, Naughty by Nature, Shaq. You right. We got producers out here too.
Taking pictures of the sunset. The Scorpion unit of the Memphis Police Department. Many people know them as the JumpOut boys in their city. Oh, it's good.
Good and terrible.
some shit. Ooh, yeah. So that's right. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. That is right. Check out that Royce the 5'9" now. I'm gonna show you an image of him. Making me love hip hop again. Yeah, I've been listening to classic rock lately, Mozart, and I still listen to that's Royce, still in it. Yo, Ramid, Royce and they got a song, Royce and Reggie. I'm gonna watch this later. It came out April 4th. I haven't seen it, but I'm gonna probably check that out.
Hey, yo, Royce!
Like, come on, Melle Mel, you weren't. Redman is still doing it. Royce is still doing it. I mean, if Emma's been in, Royce been in the game for like damn near 30 years. Redman, obviously, like 30 years.
I don't like that shit, nigga.
Redman came
I don't
out
like
first,
that
but-
shit. Redman in the building.
But you would never see, you didn't see Melle Mel in 1996 with a shiny puffy suit on trying to keep his shit sharp. You didn't. He just was still And I get it. If that's what you do, that's what you do. You got classics. Let's not get it twisted. Like, he's Melle Mel is a spearheader of hip hop. Like, they did so many things that made hip hop what it was. Before them, like, I mean, we talk about like Sugar Hill Gang and everything, but before then, like, nobody was really rapping. It was the DJ doing their thing, and people would be standing around watching the DJ, or there would be an MC would come up and be like, give directions, like, yo, don't stand and watch my DJ. It's like, throw your hands in the air, guys, participate, and let's turn this to a party. And then rapping became about, the rapper would be up there giving his DJ all of the love. It was all about the DJ. And Grandmaster Flash is like the pinnacle. Like, he invented so many different DJ techniques that you guys use, that you guys, you put on a Serato. Like, he invented half of these programs are on a Serato that we take advantage of right now. Just scratching and mixing, and they are part of history. So no disrespect ever to the King Melle Mel. But at the same time, like, damn, bro, you came off your throne as a king to go attack another king. Bro, when you come off the throne, you know what I mean? You come up from under that umbrella, you might get rained on. You get rained on. I'm raining.
It has to be racist.
Yeah, I'm raining on him. Pause. Don't ever do that again. Don't you ever, Melle Mel, do that again. Because really, honestly, like, looking at this, oh my God, like, Melle Mel is like Jack Sullivan. You know what I mean? He's like Jack Sullivan to me. This is Melle Mel character. He's got the Queensberry Bridge boxing. You know, he's the bare knuckle boxing. This is Jack Sullivan, by the way. He is the first gloved champion. He was fighting in those bare knuckle days, but then when the thing switched over in like the end of the 1880s, like 1889, 1890, that time, he became the first gloved champion. Look at this. He's the first heavyweight champion in the world. Like, I'm not going to lie. Look at his wrists. His wrists are damn near the size of his forearm. That's strict power you're getting hit with. And he was doing it with the bare knuckles, so you know those knuckles are tough. Plus, this MFer was around in the late 1800s, the turn of the century. You know how tough those MFs were, you know? He was just a powder keg, right? Different era, but yo, if he faced my man here, that's right, Anthony Joshua, the new heavyweight champion. I know Tyson Fury's still out there, but Anthony Joshua be dragging people. Yo, who's winning this fight? Is it going to be Jack? Or is it going to be Annie? He was on his period when he said what he said. Evelyn?
If you're not Caucasian, then leave.
Get out of here. That we don't talk about menstrual cycles. Yeah, Method Man still doesn't. Like, they still kill it. Like, they're still up in the game. Method Man still goes. Like, he still sounds like Method Man, but he has changed some things up. He has sharpened his sword. He has found out those new techniques that the new samurai rappers is using. He's keeping up with the game. You cannot be. Listen, it isn't like boxing. Obviously, Jack Sullivan, he's going to have his time. He's going to have his time, and then it's going to be Anthony Joshua's time. A rapper, a real rapper, anybody, Eminem can still be doing it. A young M can still be doing it 30 years later. 30 years later. Look at Young Mel. Looking like Andre 3000, Ludacris, and damn, with a Lil Uzi Vert all rolled into one right now. Look at him back in the day. Yo, Eminem has black and white pictures, but those black and white pictures were on purpose. This was not on purpose. There was no other way to film this Negro back in the day other than black and white at this time. No, they had color out by this time, but that's Melly. That's a young Mel. Look at him. Those are the asteroids. He on steroids. He got the 300. He got the 300. Yo, I'm about to hit them 40s tonight after we done. Cause yeah. And look, I got a tan underneath. Like, I got tan my armpits. It's crazy out in these streets. But look at that. He didn't keep his katana sharp. Because if he did, he would have been like, huh, huh, huh. 50 years of experience in hip-hop, loving hip-hop. If you really loved it and not just your era, but if you love hip-hop, then you would know your era. You know the era after, you're going to stick with it. I love video games. I've been playing effing video games since Atari. I got a PS5. Do you think I stopped at Nintendo? No! And it's not boxing. Jack Sullivan, look, that's what he knew. That's what he had. He can't go back and revisit or do anything because it's a physical thing. But yo, this writing thing, that's a head and a fingers thing. That's a brain thing. You know, and I know, you know, as we get older, we can lose some things up there in our noggin and everything, but not like that. Melle Mel, 50 years of hip hop, bro. But you're really not been in hip hop for 50 years. You were in hip hop for 10 years. You did it from 1978 to roughly 1988, and after that, hip hop stopped for you. So you have not been a 50-year hip hop veteran. You were a 10-year hip hop veteran, and that's why you got your ass axed by an literal 30-year hip-hop veteran, because Eminem has never stopped rhyming, because Redman has never stopped rhyming. Fuck out of here talking about hip-hop, bro. You can talk about your days and how you did your thing, and we appreciate that, but yeah, don't come for the young bucks. Don't do that. That's just how I feel. I know. Tommy Fury. You are. You want to see KSI and Tommy Fury is what's the other Fury? The champ. Tyson Fury. Tyson I like him.
If older people don't listen to younger people, they become slow amongst older people.
And motherfucking Melle Mel stopped listening to younger people, and he became slower amongst older people and younger people. And guess what? KRS has that vice versa for the younger heads looking at the old heads. You know what I mean? But as a old head, you can't tell Eminem shit because technically in hip-hop years, he's older than you, Melle Mel. And I think that's what people are forgetting about this. It's different being in hip-hop for 50 years or just being in hip-hop 50 years ago. There's a difference. And I think we found out that difference right now with the Eminem, Melle Mel. I love Run DMC still. I still love the old. I mean, while I was doing research for this, there's a great Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5 documentary that I came across that I would love to share with you guys because I was rocking out and it was well done. I'm going to have to, I can't find it right now. But I'll throw it in the comments if you guys come back and watch a replay. I'll have it in there tomorrow for you guys. But, guys, we did it. We did it, chat. How was it? Did you guys like it? Like the show? You like the show? Did you like it at all? Give me a little feedback. obviously, I'm gonna need you all to, you know, click like, share, subscribe. I'll be in these chats today. I'm sweating in here for the YOU. It is hot as the devil's chode right now.
I want more. I want more. I want more.
All right. Oh, you know what that is for. Yo, this evening, you know what we did. You know what we did this evening. We talked about Donald Trump. We talked about Dr. St. Julian and the tragedy that took place in the Southern Regional Hospital Medical Center in Georgia. Devastating. We spoke about Donald Trump and the faux. Let me rewind. There we did. This is what we did here. We did. This is what we talked about. We did the 4 for 4 Donald Trump. Where's my 4 for 4? There it is. Spam. Please, somebody, make a t-shirt. Make a t-shirt. Make a t-shirt. And we talked about those boys. Don't ever forget the Furious 5. You don't ever sleep, man. Don't ever. But we did. We talked about Melle Mel, the Beefs. And we did that this evening. We start at 7:30 p.m. on Thursdays. 313-825-5557 is the call-in line. You guys, next week will be no show unless I show up. Because I might change my mind. But hey, if you need a week off, next week might be the one. Jump out, guys. Appreciate you. Everybody in the chat, thanks for a revolution, for giving me a call. Everybody who called in, main line. And yo, we'll see you back here later. It was definitely going to be, I should have been done my talking, but I'm early. I'm early for the show. Usually we get around. So it's going to be the 14th, the 20, no, that's going to be the 24th. Is there 31 days in August? If there is, then I will be back on the 31st. Yeah, that's right, guys. 31st, I will be back. I know I've been promising you the Black Wall Street. It is coming, but I was watching another documentary and I got so many more ideas as far as like post-production goes that I've been working on it. But I got like a 4-part series coming out. Quick, informative, packed full of information and entertaining to boot. Scripts are done. It has been filmed. Just working around this editing process. I want it to be a masterpiece because it's my first venture out there into little documentary words. I'll all myself right there. And I will give myself applause, but I'm giving you guys applause. Once again, thanks for coming out. Thanks for watching the show. Please do not forget to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. Also, yo, when we started out not that long ago, I remember saying, yo, we're at 20 strong. Yo, we are damn near at 100 subscribers. 100. So, hey, we need 6 more if we can get over there. That's the goal. 100's the goal to get to. We're almost there. 250's the next goal. We're going to get there better, and I'm going to get there by giving you a better, glitzier content, smoother transitions. And I'm going to talk better for you guys. You deserve better than me all day. But trombone one more time. Friday's Eve. You guys have a great weekend. See you next time. I'm Mo 3 times. Oh, yeah. I'm Mo 3 times. And this is the Talking Shit channel. Talking Shit getting clicked. And I still don't know why the hell that happens all the time. I want to take this over because we've been watching the Me episodes, which is the We episodes. When you join our live chat or you call in 313-825-5557. See you guys on the 31st. Next week we off. Peace.